So let's get to it. And they are going to be going up against a player whose name... Do I dare try to pronounce it? It's... One sec, here we go. You ready? You ready, guys? You want to hear it?
菠萝包
Bolo bao. It means pineapple bun. That's right. Let's see if these are buns or steals that can brunt the force that Lenok's going to be popping with, because we have got a French mirror here. Lenok, of course, is going to be the French player in the green. So they are up against, one more time, Bolo bao.
菠萝包
Why was that so slow compared to last? Okay, that sounded horrifying. I'm never using that translate again. So Bolo bao is going to be playing in this cyan blue. Look at the spawn opening for them. Very far off gold vein here, but that seems to be the case for both players. In fact, spawn-wise, no one really got royally screwed. I would say that Bula Bao got a slightly better spawn and that their stone is right next to their wood, so if they opt to go into a secondary TC type play, it'd be a lot safer to go towards. Whereas if Lenok tries for such a thing, you're out in no man's land. Of course, the logic here should be if someone is going for a secondary TC, they better have got a clear map control advantage to try and do that. So realistically, like, this difference of his stone is close to a wood line and his is not shouldn't really matter. Because if someone is going on that stone, they should already have a very clear, justifiable reason to be going for a CC. Especially in a mirror like this. See how this one plays out. Kind of tempted to start experimenting with 2 times. I think I've done this before where I experiment on the openings with 2 times. I think especially in 1v1s, it can be very helpful. One thing I'm going to be keeping an eye out for as well is whether people play pocket ecos. Pocket eco situations could be pretty desirable for Lenok with a back spawning boar plus deer nearby. Might even be possible to wall off this small area at the back, secure your gold as well as long-term food investments. Boar can't easily be secured for Bula Bao, and they have to come forward to their base. So map control, if they want to play towards these pocket resources, as French players do, map control is going to be even more key for Bula Bao. With Lenok, you know, he can essentially have kind of map presence, but still have an easy way of protecting this backward spawn boars. See how that plays out, though. School of Cavalry is being built up. More or less mirrored timings here. Slightly better, actually, for Lenok. I believe they did both go for the mill, right? No. Lenok did not go for the mill at all. Instead, he insted into the lumber camp. Well, looks like Bula Bao was slightly delayed. So prepping for more wood. Very beneficial if you want to try and layer in archers down the line, but it's going to be more likely that we see some small walls coming out to secure areas, possibly. Maybe we even see some racks units added in. I mean, it's not a bad way to go, especially if you want to play that back board, just getting your hands on the racks. Long term, it's worth the initial investment just to set you up for even more night spam. Attack ups should be mirrored more or less. I do prefer Lenok's build here. Notice that he went for the mill much later, which allowed him to prep Wheelbarrow to complete around the time of the tech up. And he gets a slight edge that should allow him to get his first night out first. Say that 10 times over. So opener-wise, how did the scout vision look as well? Like, sheep-wise, I think it's a very important detail, right? Because Prairie has a lot of it, and it looks like, wow. Bula Bao. Big boomer over here. 21 sheep compared to just 13 for Lenok. Now, Lenok does at least have that ball behind his base to supplement later on, but it's going to be key to get access. Now, 13 sheep should be good enough to get access if you're going to. If you're going to out-micro, there's a big window. Lee... Well, he's known for being a pesky boy with his micro, but that opener there, moving in, didn't get a villager kill, but took heavy damage on the first night. So uncomfortable situation to be in here. We'll put them on the defensive as well as they mirror each other at the moment, night for night. Outpost investment is also going to come out from Lenok, but not from Bula Bao, so another edge for them. Does mean they're going to be in the second stables quicker. This is a little bit worrying for Lee. That initial damage on the night, I didn't quite catch what happened there. Must have been a dive under the TC. And a heavily injured villager, maybe? But I don't see any injuries here. And they are neck and neck on villagers, so none have been sniped. I like this position from Bula Bao. Just get around the back, make sure he can't extend onto any surplus resource areas. Drain him of the sheep, because the point here is if Lenok gets drained of sheep, he has to come out in desperation. Desperation breeds opportunity. Raid in. Ooh, that may have been a misclick there. I think he still got 1 villager in the end, but I think he missed out on an opportunity to get 2 there. You can see 2 injured already. Because he spread out and then he attacked a completely different target. Still works out for him. And now look at the night count, the difference here. Bulo Bao, he got that second stable up so quickly. Leenock was delayed. So now we're talking about a 3-night advantage for Bulo Bao. Raid's going to come in again. Turn around. Did allow the clash to come in against him there. So it benefits Leenock. Bulo Bao will be forced to retreat. And double outpost is going to sustain Leenock in the area. So shrinking that lead slightly when you consider the damage that's now been laid in on these French Knights. Still on the defensive. Leenock. Love that. Min-max in the gathering. Just wants to bait his opponent in. He's like, if I'm going to idle up, I better get 2 flurries of arrows out on my target. There should be a blacksmith. Yeah, I was about to say, this has been missing so far. Blacksmith, you want to get the undermesh rolling. Nice thing for Leenock. He doesn't have to go for the undermesh yet, right? Because he's playing fully defensive. But as soon as I say that, he's marching forward. Tries to go for the clash. Nice mirroring by Bulo Bao. Leveraging the fact they have a military lead to be both defensive and aggressive. And looks like we are going to get that maneuver out the backside. So moving away from the gold in the front. Actually, a lot of gold for Leenock now that I think about it. 15? 20 villages on gold? That's actually insane. This must be an intent to shift away. And yeah, especially with the outpost coming out. So this is just a good read. Leenock is ahead of time. And this is going to deal with idle times down the line, right? So he's already prepped for this. Meanwhile, Bulo Bao a little bit too committed on the outpost here. The Knights are going to chip away at him. Notice that Leenock is now regrouping. Look what he's done to the lead. He shrunk it. Just one between them now. All of a sudden, Bulo Bao does not want to be taking these fights anymore. This is detrimental to his scalability. Great read by Lee, though. I love that switch up onto the back gold. Hard to identify as well, because Bulo Bao lost the scout. So he's playing blind AoE, and the butchering. Committing to more fights. Getting stuck in fights that he shouldn't here. Off the back of that, just look at the destroyed value now. Leenock has been so on point in the exchanges here. That's actually insane. A triple up? Wow. I mean, that's actually incredible work from Leenock. To peel that back, to now have the military lead like this. The outplay, the idle economy back at base. The fact that he didn't commit fully to a defense, but went back and forth between his opponent's base and his own. This is why Lee is such a G. Needs to be careful of those formation shuffles on the exit, though. Doesn't want to give that lead back over. But now that he's out here on the gold, he can just switch on the ball. He's on the berries right now, but I would genuinely love to see him get some Pumbaa in. It's just free at this stage. Wow. Bulo Bao, that's another thing to talk about here, right? You've got 2 idle villagers at all times. No way they're going to be able to gather the gold for free. Heavy commitment when you think about it that way. The other time of walking over when Bulo Bao committed to it when they had about 35 to 30 villages. This is a heavy hit in a situation where you're losing. Go back to 2 times. I actually don't mind 2 times. I don't think we missed too much. Bulo Bao also has this issue. They've drained themselves of sheep. They're playing on berries as well. They did play onto deer, but they no longer have map control advantage. This is what we talked about, right? With French on French, that's the key detail. Who has map control is king. And now we are going to see that ball play. Because Leenock has realized just how free it is going to be. That's going to allow him to lock in probably an additional stables here to outboom his opponent militarily. This raid in. Maybe Bulo Bao's best opportunity here. He's going to find his time wasted. Aggro's going to drag him back towards the main base, and that will buy time for a second layer of Knights. Outposts are being rushed up, but Leenock, look at the balls on this man. He's not even pulling away. Oh my. Okay, Leenock, if he doesn't clean up the Knights, this is not worth. He can pinch them in the corner, but I don't know if you kill enough of them. Like right now, Bulo Bao is eking out a lead. Plenty of villagers are going to get cleaned up, but militarily, Leenock is now almost 10 Knights ahead. It might have been worth it. Get even more out of this. Bulo Bao once again committing in. A few Knights are going to sneak in. More villagers are being sacrificed, approaching almost a 10-villager lead. But remember, the difference is here. The military, look at it. He's close to doubling up now. Once he min-max these Knights and have Chivalry afterwards, this should be the point where he can go get Vengeance. And he is doing exactly that. Second group of Knights raiding on the other side. So this looks bad for Leenock, but when you look at what's now happening elsewhere, Bulo Bao is about to lose complete control of this game. I actually love that from Leenock. That's such a high-level play to sacrifice so much economy to kill your enemy's army. It's a double-up now. And I don't think Bulo Bao has enough food to make a difference here with this economy advantage. Because they have to play pocket eco. They have to build these outposts everywhere. They have to go for berries. Look at the outpost commitment here. This is problematic. If I'm Leenock, I can just get to a point where I rush into the base. You know, Leenock, he could try to sneak Castle Age and upgrade all these knights, but I think that slows him down too much. He needs to extend this lead. It's time to apply pressure where it hurts most into the economy. So many knights here as well. Instantly, Bulo Bao realizes they don't want this clash. The villagers, I don't know where they're going right now. Bulo Bao... Wait, what? He pulled the ball was a safe spot to be. Oh my god, was that a misclick? That must have been a misclick. More villagers going down. Look at that lead that he built. It's just gone. Leenock just so on point, man. This is a pristine example of how you can sacrifice economy for an upside as long as you do something with it. And that's exactly what he's done here. After all that diving, he still has the knight lead. And he shrunk that eco lead that Bulo built. Worked so hard to build. But now, just horsemen being added, and you see the desperation for Bulo. So many outposts as well. Like, this is actually insane to think about the count. That has to be like, what? 6 outposts? 7, actually, because he built one in the gold vein. Compare that to what Leenock done. 1, 2, 3. It's a heavy burden on a map with limited wood. And oh my god. Wait, what? Why? Why do you hate Impumba so much? Oh. Bulo Bao is, in fairness, their name is Pineapple Bun, right? And pineapples are not meat. They're a fruit. So Bulo cannot eat meat. I guess that's what's happening here. Like Raiden again. Bulo trying to rebuild that lead. He's like, I like being that many villages ahead. Can I have it again, please? Ooh, the formation shuffle is going to lead to a few going down. Not many knights are here to punish right now because I think Leenock, yeah, he was far away. Villages. Massacre once again will commence. This time, though, the knights get out. So, unfortunate for Lee. Not really getting the value there. But if he knew that Bulo Bao was still ignoring half of a boar, he'd probably have a smile on his face right there. In fact, I'm worried that Bulo is not being very eco-efficient at this stage. 38 villages in this area. Oh my god, he doesn't know about the boar. He actually doesn't know. No way. I can't believe that's gone missing so long. I mean, it's not nitpicking either. That's a big deal. That's so much better. Like, you know, you're getting almost an extra 50% on the gathering rate compared to berries. They're still playing a deer now, but... The other problem is you've set up double outpost here, and now you're playing away from 1,000 resources that would make this investment more worthwhile. I really don't like Bulo Bao's position in this game right now. Especially the fact that Leenock has still got a huge knight lead. And oh my god, the way that Lee is playing this as well. It's pretty crafty if you think about it. No one's played Southside yet. But Bulo is now hunting there. I think this is just a staging to move into the main base, though. We'll see if they're able to scout it out. Well, seems like they are aware. But remember, Leenock, look what Lee's done. He's actually heading up. Bulo Bao, I don't understand where the resources have gone at this stage. Like, I'm looking at the numbers and I'm not really able to make much sense of it. You know, I think this is just... Well, actually, I can make sense of it. It's the idle eco. It's literally just... This is the difference. When you don't plan out your economy ahead of time and you're forced to react, you're sending far too much villager force to one area, right? So think about it. He's sending like 30 villagers out here into berries. You exhaust it way too quickly, and then you idle all these villagers again. And also, it gives a condensed like raid point for a superior knight count to come in. And off the back of all of this, that's where the difference of like over 1,000 food is built up. To the point that Leenock still has the knight lead, has an eco disadvantage, but has somehow managed to tech up ahead of the player who, if you looked at these numbers, these raw numbers, you would say Bulo Bao is ahead. But now he's done. There's no way out of this. Like, he's looking desperate with this berry play. Knight upgrade is coming through soon. Once that ticks in, I don't think Bulo Bao can play this game anymore. And it was just so crafty, by the way he done this as well. He teched up in a corner so far away while gathering berries. It's so wacky, but so effective. Bulo Bao had no clue that this upgrade was coming. Speaking of those upgrades, Veteran Royal Knights have now ticked in. Ah, that's just going to be a wipe. Notice the Bulo could not move away from this. They need the food. Problem is, with this many villagers out here, they're going to get massacred on the exit. Bulo being butchered on the backside will admit defeat. Leenock, man, I just got to give him so much credit. From the sacrifice of economy to the way that he snuck the additional resources to make this tech up happen. Great plays out of Leenock. Also rough from Bulo Bao not to plan his economy ahead of time. I think this is a masterclass in how to not gather food. Bulo Bao gathered food in this way because it was safer, right? They were losing raids, so they felt they needed to keep all their workers together, but they're not really moving out for efficient gains. Think about the fact that they moved for this berry area, they forgot about their boar, and then they moved further north for deer instead of the deer right close to their base. Felt like there was a lot of panic going on here and a lot of hesitation, and Bulo Bao, as a result, was not gathering optimally. That's what made it so crazy, is that Leenock loses all these villages and starts to lose even more, not getting even trades even further down the line. But yet Leenock is economically stronger because he's laid his economy out correctly. He's made sure that he's sending enough villages that they spend long enough in one area without needing to idle to an additional area that they're getting good gathering rates. Meanwhile, you've got Bulo Bao with too many villagers gathering around one berry bush, so they're wasting more time walking, and then they're depleting these areas and having to move out to new risky areas even quicker. Just unfortunate in that detail, but great read by Leenock. Love the way that he snuck that tech up. And that was crafty as all hell. Looking at his knight numbers, I would not have expected the timing of the Royal Institute, but that was key to just dictating complete control of this game in the end.